The story begins on a dying research vessel called Star's Edge, drifting through the void after a catastrophic engine failure. The ship belongs to the Keth, a peaceful alien race with blue-tinted skin and large, expressive eyes. They are explorers and scientists, not warriors. Captain Mora commands the vessel with only 12 crew members remaining. Their life support systems are failing, and they have maybe 3 days left. The crew includes Tech, the chief engineer, Doc, the medical officer, and Nav, the navigator. They are returning from a failed research mission to study ancient ruins. On a distant world, during their crisis, they detect a small escape pod floating in space. Against the advice of some crew members who worry about their limited resources, Captain Mora orders the rescue. Inside the pod, they find an unconscious human male named Jake. He is injured, malnourished, and his pod is primitive compared to their technology. Jake slowly recovers under Doc's care. Through broken communication, using their universal translators, they learn he is from a planet called Earth. His cargo ship was attacked by raiders, and he barely escaped. The Keth have never heard of humans before. What amazes the Keth is Jake's determination to help them despite his weakness. While they are resigned to their fate, Jake refuses to give up. He studies their failing systems with fresh eyes. Using basic human engineering principles and improvised solutions, he helps Tech jury-rig their engines enough to reach the nearest space station. Jake's ingenuity and fighting spirit inspire the crew. He shows them that sometimes the simplest solutions work best. When they finally reach safety, Jake has become like family to them. Captain Mora gives him coordinates to Earth and a communication device, promising that if he ever needs help, the Keth will remember his kindness. The part ends with Jake departing for home, while the grateful Keth repair their ship. Neither realizes this meeting will change the fate of 2 entire species. 5 years pass. The Keth have returned to their peaceful ways on their homeworld Kethera, a beautiful planet with crystal cities and floating gardens. Their civilization values knowledge, art, and harmony with nature. They have no military, only a small defense. Fleet for protecting trade routes. Meanwhile, a vast armada of hunters has been sweeping across this region of space. The hunters are a savage warrior race that conquers worlds for resources and slaves. They are led by warlord Brock, a massive creature with scarred armor and glowing red eyes. The hunters have already destroyed dozens of civilizations. They use advanced weapons and overwhelming numbers. No one has been able to stop them. Refugees flee ahead of their advance, bringing terrible stories. Captain Mora, now promoted to fleet commander, receives the first reports. The hunters are only 6 months away from Kethera. The Keth Council meets in emergency session. Some suggest surrender. Others want to evacuate their people to distant colonies. Their small defense fleet cannot possibly stand against the hunter. Armada.Tech, now the chief engineer of the Keth fleet, remembers Jake's words about never giving up. He suggests they try to contact the human. Many council members think this is foolish. What could one primitive species do that advanced civilizations could not? But Fleet Commander Mora remembers Jake's determination, an unusual way of thinking. She authorizes the message. Using the communication device Jake left behind, they send a desperate plea to Earth. They explain their situation and ask if humans remember their friendship. The message travels through space while the hunters continue their advance. Keth colonies begin evacuating. Fear spreads across their peaceful worlds. Some Keth begin learning to fight, but their gentle nature makes them poor warriors. Warlord Brock's scouts reach the outer Keth systems. They easily destroy the small outposts they find. The scouts report back that the Keth will be easy prey, no significant defenses, advanced technology, but no weapons of war, and a population that values life too much to fight effectively. hunters begin massing for their final assault on Kethura. Their fleet contains over 300 warships, equipped with planet-cracking weapons. They plan to strip the world of its resources and enslave any survivors. As the part ends, the Keth receive a response from Earth. It is brief, but filled with promise. Message received. The cavalry is coming. Hold on. The Keth don't understand what cavalry means, but they sense determination in those words that reminds them of Jake. Asterisk. The message from the Keth reaches Earth's Global Space Command. Admiral Cross, the head of Earth's military space operations, reviews the desperate plea. He remembers the reports about Jake's rescue and how the alien crew saved his life. Earth has changed dramatically in the 5 years since Jake's return. His stories about the vast galaxy beyond Earth motivated humanity to accelerate their space program. They built new ships, developed better weapons, and trained elite space marines. Earth's military is still young but growing rapidly. Jake, now a captain in Earth's Space Navy, is called to brief the Admiral. He describes the Keth in detail, their peaceful nature, their advanced technology, and their complete lack of military experience. He explains how they saved his life when they could have conserved resources for themselves. Admiral Cross faces a difficult decision. Earth's fleet is much smaller than the Hunter Armada. The journey to Keth space will take weeks, and they might arrive too late. Some advisors suggest Earth should prepare its own defenses instead of risking their fleet for aliens. Jake argues passionately for helping the Keth. He reminds the Admiral that humanity's greatest strength has always been protecting those who cannot protect themselves. Other species might calculate odds and make logical decisions, but humans fight for what's right regardless of the cost. The Admiral authorizes Operation Rescue. Earth's entire combat-ready fleet will deploy to Keth space. This includes 35 warships, ranging from massive dreadnoughts to fast attack cruisers. More importantly, they carry 5,000 space marines, Earth's elite soldiers trained for zero-gravity combat. The fleet is commanded by Admiral Stone, Earth's most experienced combat commander. Jake serves as his liaison officer and expert on alien technology. The ships are loaded with Earth's most advanced weapons, railguns, plasma torpedoes, and experimental shield dash breakers. As the Earth fleet prepares to depart, they receive more messages from Keth space. The situation is deteriorating rapidly. Hunter scouts are probing deeper into Keth territory. Several colonies have gone silent. The main Hunter fleet is massing for their final assault. The Earth ships use their fastest hyperspace drives, pushing their engines to dangerous limits. During the journey, Admiral Stone studies everything known about the Hunters. They are individually stronger than humans, have superior numbers, and use brutal but effective tactics. However, humans have advantages the Hunters don't expect. Earth's military developed through centuries of warfare. Human soldiers are trained to adapt, improvise, and never surrender. Most importantly, they fight not just for victory, but for each other and for those they protect. Meanwhile, in Keth space, Fleet Commander Mora struggles to organize their defenses. The Keth have managed to arm some of their ships with makeshift weapons, but their crews lack combat experience. Their best hope is to delay the Hunters long enough for the promised human help to arrive. Tech works frantically to upgrade their ship's shields and engines. He applies lessons learned from Jake about human engineering, sometimes crude, but effective solutions work better than elegant ones. The Keth ships won't match Hunter firepower, but they might survive long enough to matter. As the part ends, both fleets race toward their destiny. The Earth fleet pushes through hyperspace, while Admiral Stone plans humanity's first major space battle. In Keth space, the Hunter Armada begins its final approach to Kethera. The two forces are about to collide in a battle that will determine the fate of an entire species. The Keth have faith in their human friends, but they don't yet understand what humanity is truly capable of when fighting for others. Asterisk. The Hunter Armada arrives at Kethra in overwhelming force. Warlord Brock's flagship, the Death's Edge, leads 300 warships in perfect battle formation. Their vessels are massive, bristling with heavy weapons and armored for planetary bombardment. Fleet Commander Mara commands the desperate Keth defense from her flagship, Star's Hope. She has managed to gather 42 ships, mostly converted civilian vessels, with hastily installed weapons. The Keth crews are brave, but inexperienced. They know they cannot win, but they will buy time for their people to evacuate. The battle begins badly for the Keth Hunter weapons tier. Through their improvised shields like paper, within minutes, 6 Keth ships are destroyed. The survivors scatter, trying to use their superior speed and knowledge of local space to survive longer. Warlord Brock watches the slaughter with satisfaction. His tactical screens show the pitiful enemy resistance. He orders his fleet to advance toward Kethira itself. The planet's crystal cities gleam below, undefended and ripe for conquest. Suddenly, new contacts appear on both fleets' sensors. 35. Unknown ships drop out of hyperspace at the edge of the system. They are smaller than Hunter vessels, but move with military precision. Admiral Stone's Earth fleet has arrived exactly when needed. The Hunter commanders initially dismiss these newcomers. Their ships appear primitive and few in number. Warlord Brock assigns 50 vessels to deal with this minor annoyance, while the rest continue toward Kethra. Admiral Stone surveys the battlefield from his flagship Terra's Might. The situation is worse than expected. The Keth fleet is scattered and taken heavy losses. His smaller force faces impossible odds, but he has faced impossible odds before. All ships. This is Admiral Stone. He broadcasts on open channels. We came here to help our friends. Today, we show the galaxy what happens when you threaten those under human protection. The Earth fleet attacks with startling aggression. Their ships are smaller, but faster than Hunter vessels. They use advanced targeting systems and concentrated firepower to punch through Hunter armor. The first Hunter ship explodes in shocked surprise. Human tactics confuse the Hunters. Instead of traditional formation fighting, Earth ships work in small coordinated groups. They use hit-and-run attacks, appearing suddenly to destroy isolated enemies before vanishing again. Each human vessel fights like a pack hunter. Captain Jake commands the destroyer, New Hope. He leads a squadron of 6 ships against a Hunter formation, twice their size. Using knowledge gained from his time with the Keth, he targets specific weak points in Hunter ship design. His squadron destroys 4 enemy vessels while losing only one of their own. The Keth crews watch in amazement as human ships dance between Hunter formations. The Earth vessels seem to predict enemy movements and counter them perfectly. What the Keth don't realize is that human military doctrine emphasizes flexibility and adaptation, skills developed through millennia of warfare. Space Marines prepare for boarding actions aboard damaged Hunter ships. Unlike other species that fight from a distance, humans excel at close combat. Marine Sergeant Rock leads the first boarding party onto a crippled Hunter cruiser. His squad fights through corridors with ruthless efficiency, capturing the ships. Bridge in 12 minutes. Warlord Brock grows increasingly frustrated. These humans fight unlike any enemy he has faced. They show no fear and seem to become more dangerous when threatened. Worse, their arrival has inspired the Keth defenders to rally and fight harder. The battle's momentum begins shifting. Hunter. Formations break apart under coordinated human attacks. Several Hunter captains request reinforcements, something that rarely happens in their conquests. The humans are actually winning despite being outnumbered 8-1. Admiral Stone recognizes the turning point. He orders all Earth ships to converge on Warlord Brock's flagship, If they can eliminate the hunter leadership, the enemy fleet might scatter. It's a desperate gambit that will expose his ships to concentrated enemy fire. As the part ends, the Earth fleet forms up for their final assault. Every human ship races toward death's edge, while hundreds of hunter weapons target them. The Keth fleet, inspired by human courage, joins the attack despite their losses. The decisive moment approaches. In space above Kethera, the fate of two species hangs in the balance as human determination clashes with hunter brutality. Asterisk, the final assault on Warlord. Brock's flagship becomes the most intense space battle in recorded history. Every Earth ship converges on death's edge while hunter vessels desperately try to protect their leader. The space around the massive flagship fills with weapons fire and exploding ships. Admiral Stone's Terras might leads the charge directly at the hunter command ship. His vessel takes tremendous damage as hunter plasma cannons tear through its armor. But human engineering proves its worth. The ship keeps fighting even with hull breaches and system failures throughout. Captain Jake's destroyer New Hope slips through the chaos to attack Death's Edge from below. His crew has learned to think like their captain, creative, determined, and never accepting defeat. They target the flagship's engine systems with concentrated railgun fire. The Keth fleet, emboldened by human sacrifice, joins the final attack. Fleet Commander Mora brings Star's Hope alongside Earth ships, adding their firepower to the assault. Tech has modified their weapons to overload, trading ship safety for maximum damage. The gentle Keth have learned to fight when fighting matters. Inside Death's Edge, Warlord Brock watches his fleet crumble around him. These humans fight with a ferocity that confuses him. They protect allies at the cost of their own lives. They never retreat, even when facing certain death. Such behavior makes no logical sense, yet it proves devastatingly effective. Marine Sergeant Rock leads boarding parties onto multiple hunter ships. Human soldiers prove superior in close combat, using teamwork and adaptability to overcome individually stronger enemies. Each captured ship weakens hunter coordination and strengthens the allied fleet. The turning point comes when Jake's weapons finally penetrate Death's Edge's engine core. The massive flagship begins losing power and maneuverability. Seeing their leader's ship crippled, hunter morale collapses. Several hunter captains begin retreating without orders. Admiral Stone seizes the moment. He broadcasts a message to the entire hunter fleet. This is Admiral Stone of Earth. Your warlord is defeated. Leave this system now and never return. If you threaten our friends again, humanity will hunt you to the ends of the galaxy. Warlord Brock faces a choice he has never confronted: surrender or destruction. His damaged flagship cannot escape, and the human fleet has proven they can destroy his forces. For the first time in his military career, the proud hunter leader requests terms. The battle ends not with total destruction, but with hunter withdrawal. The surviving enemy ships retreat from Keth space, carrying word of human military capability. Throughout the galaxy, the hunter expansion finally meets a force willing and able to stop them. In the aftermath, Earth and Keth fleets work together to rescue survivors and repair damage. Human medical teams treat wounded Keth alongside their own injured. The two species, united by shared sacrifice, begin forming bonds that will reshape the galaxy. Fleet Commander Mora meets Admiral Stone aboard Terra's Might. She struggles to express her gratitude to the humans who traveled across space to save her people. The Admiral simply states that friends help friends, no matter the cost or distance involved. Captain Jake returns to Kethera as a hero to two species. The Keth Council offers him any reward within their power. He requests only that Earth and Keth remain allies, sharing knowledge and protecting each other. His simple wish becomes the foundation of the first interstellar alliance, based on friendship rather than mutual benefit. The story concludes with the establishment of the Terran Keth Alliance. Human military expertise combines with Keth scientific knowledge to create a new power in the galaxy. Other peaceful species, hearing of the victory over the Hunters, request membership in this protective alliance. Earth's fleet returns home to a hero's welcome, but they leave behind permanent bases in Keth space. Human Marines train Keth defenders. In combat techniques, while Keth scientists help humans develop better spacecraft and medical technology, the galaxy has learned that humanity possesses something rare and powerful: the willingness to fight for others without expecting reward. This reputation spreads through space, giving hope to oppressed species and caution to would-be conquerors. Years later, Jake serves as the first human ambassador to Kethera. He often visits the memorial built for those who died in the battle. The inscription, written in both languages, reads simply, "They came when called, they fought when needed. They are family forever." The rescued human had returned home to bring salvation to his rescuers. In doing so, humanity announced its presence to the galaxy, not as conquerors, but as protectors. The universe would never be the same. The end asterisk.